Subra, should I sell a mutual fund at all? And Subra, should I sell a share at all? Are two completely different questions. Today I'm going to deal with Subra, should I sell a share at all? Right? So the question is, there are many reasons to buy a share and many reasons to sell a share. Let us look at the reasons why you have to sell a share. So first, you set yourself a target. For example, I bought Apollo Hospital at 9 rupees 75 paise. You may find it difficult to believe. And because on that I was getting a dividend of 10%, which was 1 rupee. So it was actually giving me slightly more than 10%. And I held it on till it reached 135 rupees. Then my story got over. Right? My story of a dividend yield share got over long ago, because the dividend payouts didn't increase, but the share price kept increasing. It kept ballooning, and I said 135 is great. So it was a 15 bagger, and I sold. And then what happened is different, but yes, my story was over and I sold. Second, when you reach your target or when you reach your goal, you had kept these monies in few shares for your daughter's education, and you were very clear that you did not have any great reason to hold on to those shares, but you had taken a 3-year, 5-year view, and that money you need now. Don't say, I will keep these shares, but I will sell something else. That's not the purpose. Then, which means your goal was not properly set. So that is another good reason to sell. You need money. So that is, of course, the topmost reason could be you need money, therefore you need to sell. That I'm not even talking about. The third or fourth could be you have better opportunities to buy. Like today, for example, you have certain shares of, let's say, TCS. It's a good company, well run, etc., etc. But you find some other company which is a younger company, is more like a startup, available at a much cheaper price, and you think the potential rise in that is higher than the potential rise in TCS. Nothing wrong. It is your assessment. You could be wrong, but this is your assessment. You feel this is a matured company and I've reached the zenith of where I want to sell. I bought it at 17 rupees or 22 rupees during the IPO, effectively post bonus price. So I'm happy with the price that I'm getting. So I'm getting out. That's perfectly fine. And I've got that. I need that money because I have to buy something else. So I sold Reliance to buy Siemens, or I sold Siemens to buy ABB, or I sold ABB to buy Maruti, whatever. You can always do that if you think at that point in time the best share to sell is this and the best share to buy is the other one. Of course, you could go wrong tomorrow both in your purchase and in your sale, but so be it, right? So these are 3 or 4 reasons why you should sell. And another very, very significant reason to sell is you think there is some change in the management which you don't like. For example, you believe the balance sheet of the company. A new analyst is born somewhere and he comes to meet you and says, can I have your business? And he says, this is a research report I made. And you wake up saying, oh shit, I have this stuff, and what are you saying? So then he comes and says, okay, this is the revenue which they're saying, which is fake, doesn't seem to be true. We have checked out in this city, that city, the numbers seem to have been made up. Now this is a big problem, especially in companies which are selling intangible things. How do you know what rate they are charging? I mean, if you are sitting outside, how do you know how much is the ad rate that they are charging? You see a rack rate, but you have no clue whether they are able to charge the rack rate. There are instances when you hear of 80% discount depending on how much of arm twisting the client or the client's agency can do. So guessing the total revenue of any company is difficult, and in intangible it is almost impossible. Like in a restaurant, you can just go and guess, saying, okay, at this peak hour so many people are coming, but how do you know what is the average billing? Are people drinking tea or are they having a full meal, right? So guessing all those things is very difficult. So you don't trust the balance sheet, something goes wrong, so you sold off that restaurant, you sold off that newspaper, or what have you, right? So all of us have made these mistakes. Then we realize our mistakes, and we did not realize the mistake because we found out somebody else told us. Perfectly all right, but it does happen. So now let us look for reasons to keep a share. Now you bought a share. Let it be Tata Consumer or Bajaj Consumer, something like that, and you say, okay, I do not know whether to keep or sell. I bought it at $100. Today it is $150. So should I sell because I'm making a good profit? Then there are some questions which you have to ask yourself. Is it worth keeping or is it worth selling and coming back and buying for more, right? For example, Reliance, you might feel today is fully matured. Everything is priced, and the Jio platform pricing, the Jio increasing ARPU, and all that is fully priced in at 1800 rupees, and you think you should sell off that share, buy something else, and then come back to Reliance. Maybe it's not that you've sold and therefore you will not buy it back. You sold it at 1800. Tomorrow, if it's available at 1400, you may buy it, or you may buy it at 2100 if the circumstances have changed. Oil prices have gone up or something like that has happened. Some refinery margins have gone up. Jio revenue is really starting to pour in. ARPU has gone up. Then at 2100 it may be worth buying. Yes, of course you have to forget the fact that you have sold at 1800. Otherwise it keeps troubling you as if you have lost 300 rupees. It's not a loss. You bought it at 1000, you sold it at 1800. Then you bought it again at 2100 and you're going to buy it back later, or you buy more and then you sell the whole thing at 4000 rupees, or you sell it at 3000 rupees ex bonus. We have no clue, right? So right now these are enough reasons for you to sell. But let us look at the reasons to keep. Then you say, okay, is it a market leader in its category? What kind of market share does it have? Now, market leader in its category is impossible to find in pharma, because every company has 40-50 products, and one product may be a market leader, one product may be a lagger, one product may have been started yesterday, right? So you don't know whether it is a market leader in each of those segments. You do not know whether they're making money by selling drugs inside India, or are they doing a lot of contract manufacturing for a US company, or are they doing top quality research, developing a strain and then selling it off to somebody. So it could even be a combination of these things. Second question to ask is the fall temporary or is it permanent? If you think it's temporary, there is nothing to do, maybe buy more. Is there a contrarian play expected? Will people come into it later on? For example, when Naren and Anand Radhakrishnan and Prashant Jain were picking up shares like Bharti Airtel, the whole world was shunning it. But can you seriously have infrastructure without having good telephone services? So is Jio the only solution? No, now we have three players. There is Vodafone Idea, right? So you need to know what is the reason. Is the fall temporary or is the fall permanent? Does it apply now to the macro theme or is it gone? For example, Udupi restaurants, they're doing well, but the younger kids today don't want to be seen in an Udupi restaurant. They do go, but it's not the happening place. The happening place could be far more expensive, completely different, right? So it's not the Udupi hotel. So does it fit into the big, broad macro? Or is it some kind of an undiscovered gem which is likely to be discovered soon? So are you part of the discovery series, in the sense that do you have the capacity to spot such shares and buy it, nurture it and keep it for 10-20 years and then sell? So if you are not, then this is not meant for you. Was it based on some technical attribute? Did somebody tell you that this parameter is shifting, that has shifted, this is the 200-day has beaten the 400-day from bottom, or whatever you have, right? So if you have been told those things, and whether those ask the same person who asked you to, or did you just overhear two people talking and then you went and bought? Then you don't even know whom to ask. In the train compartment somebody was speaking and you bought, then that's a very good reason for you to book your profits. Did you buy the share because some expert mentioned it on the television set? Then it's a bad buy, so better sell. Or is it something that you inherited and you have no control? Good reason for you to sell, because don't get sentimental about somebody else's. Like if your father has been working in one particular company and he had a lot of those shares and he didn't like the fact that it would be sold. So, but now he is dead, so maybe your mother doesn't remember, so maybe you could get rid of some of those shares, or maybe all the shares, right? So see what is your own logic, write down your own philosophy statements, create your own diary, and then keep reviewing it after a few years, and you will know why you have to sell a share. Thank you.